Hello, students. We'll be starting our English textbook Hornbill. So, our first chapter is going to be The Laburnum Top. It's a poem written by Ted Hughes. So, this is a poem about the relationship of a tree and a bird who considers the tree as a shelter. We will just go straight to the poem. It's a very simple poem with some hidden meanings in it. So, usually in poetry, what happens is that what we read may not be the actual meaning. There are lots of inner meanings in it. And figures of speeches are there, so we have to consider all those things when we read a poem. It's a bit difficult for some people to read and understand a poem. Some people understand it very fast compared to the others. So, if you have any problems, difficulties in understanding poetry, especially, I think we can do a bit further on that area to improve your understanding level. Okay. So please take your textbook to this is chapter 3, I think, the laburnum top. It's with another prose lesson, discovering Tut. These two chapters are together. So please take your textbook instead of looking at the screen. You can look into your textbook, and you need to have a pencil with you. You need to do markings on your textbook. If possible, have your notebook with you so that you can take down lecture notes. Okay. So, the laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So the laburnum is a tree. It's a big tree with if you have seen the picture, it's a big tree in the autumn season. It will be all yellowish, and it is silent. There is no sound there, and it's quite still. It's quite motionless. It's not moving. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. So it's afternoon time. So yellow is a color used here. Yellow symbolizes silence, death, and beauty. So it is the month of September. It's afternoon time. There is this yellow sun. It's autumn season. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So a few leaves are there in yellow color, and all the seeds in the laburnum tree has fallen down. So there are no seeds there. So laburnum tree is just quiet and still. It's not moving, and the time is autumn season. It's September, and it's bright sunlight. So here you can see yellow is the color used to it's used as a symbolism for silence, death, and beauty. And September sunlight. So it's there is an alteration coming here. So that is the poetic technique used, poetic device used in this first stanza. Now, so this is the description of the tree. This first stanza is a description of the tree. Although it is standing still, it signifies, although it is there, the tree is there, it signifies a death-like quality to the tree. So the tree is not at all moving, it does not show any signs of life. Now let's look at the second stanza. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. Then, sleek as a lizard, and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness, and a machine starts up, of chitterings and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. She stalks it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. So this is a rather long stanza compared to the other two stanzas in the poem. So in this stanza, the poet is trying to say that the tree which is lifeless, the tree which is standing still, the tree which is projecting the death-like quality, it becomes alive when the goldfinch bird comes and sits on it. By the arrival of the goldfinch bird, the tree becomes alive. And why did she come? She is there to feed her young ones. Okay, for her, this tree is her shelter. This is where her family is. So twitching here means sudden jerk movement. So please note down the vocabulary for this lesson. And a chirrup is, as you know, a bird sound. It's an onomatopoeia. It refers to the soundings of a bird. Then startlement means showing sudden shock, so, feeling or showing a sudden shock. Then abrupt is fast. The word abrupt means fast. Then here at the second last line in this stanza, flirts meaning leading on to, leads on to. So I think all the other words I think you know. So here the poet says that a godflinch bird comes and sits at this death-like tree, and it makes a sudden sound, a very sudden a bird sound, and the bird is very fast. Although it is being very fast, it is very careful as a lizard, sleek as a lizard. Here the poet is using comparison, simile. So here is the example for simile in the stanza. So like a lizard, the bird is very cautious and very alert and very fast. So she enters the thickness. She enters the thickness as in she enters into the thick end of a branch, the thickness of a branch, not the thin part of the branch, the thick part of the branch, where a machine is starting up. So here machine is used as a metaphor, a direct comparison. So machine refers to the young ones, the bird's young ones. So till then, the young ones were silent, but upon seeing their mother, the young ones have started making noise like a machine, like very loud noise like a machine. And they become very active and very lively because their mother is home. So a machine here represents, it's a direct comparison. Although the word machine is used, it's not the actual machine, it's not the motor machine that we use. The young ones are being compared to machines. Now, how are they acting like machines? Of chitterings and a tremor of wings and trillings. So they are making all these sounds, they are flapping their wings so fast, they are talking, all sorts of movements are happening. So this is how they are being considered as machine, and the tree starts to shake because of all these things. The whole tree trembles and thrills. So because of all these commotions, because of all this noise, the dead-like tree has become alive now. Now here the whole tree trembles. So tr. So that is also example for alliteration. So alliteration, it's the repetition of consonant sounds. Okay, consonant sounds, not vowel sounds, consonant sounds. Now what do you know what is the repetition, what is the word used for repeating vowel sounds? Okay, I think when our online class comes I will explain that to you. It's called assonance. Okay, it's called assonance. The repetition of vowel sounds is called assonance. The repetition of consonant sound is called alliteration. So till when the goldfinch bird comes and sits on the tree becomes suddenly alive, and it shows the sign of life. And why does the goldfinch bird comes to the tree? Because this is her home, this is her shelter, this is where her kids are, her young ones are. So she is coming to meet them. And when she comes and she enters into the thick part of the branch, the young ones are making such a noise, like it seems like a machine is running. And because of this machine, the whole tree becomes alive. It is the engine of her family. So here the word engine is being used to note that her family is is her strength. This is the engine of her family. This noise, these kids are the main part of her family. So She stalks it full, then floats out to a branch end. So she stalks it full, she feeds them, she provides food to them, she fills them up like filling up their fuel, and they are full now, and she leads on out to a branch end. So after feeding them from the thick end of the branch, she is moving to the very end of the branch to take a flight. So she's preparing to take a flight, showing her barred face identity mask. So, a goldfinch bird has a dark colored striped face. So, this face is visible because her body is all yellow, and as you know that the trees being considered as trees full of yellow color, so because of face she can be identified. Because her face looks different than her body, she can be identified because of the features of her face. Otherwise, if her face was also yellow, she would have been hidden in the yellow tree, in the yellowness of the tree. Since her face is different, since her face has this unique quality, she can be identified amongst all those yellow colors. So this is also used as a metaphor here. Barred face identity mask. This can be asked for questions. It's a usually asked question, so you may have to take a note of it. Now, the last answer. Then with eerie, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite. Then with eerie. Eerie is weird and strange. Usually horror movies, there is this eerie feeling, kind of like a scary feeling, but it's actually weird and strange. Delicate whistle chirrup. So delicate means very soft, gentle whisper, like the chirping of the bird. So gentle sound of the bird sound. She lifts off from the branch towards endless possibilities. So infinite here is endless possibilities. So here the poet is talking about how she is leaving the tree and flies off to infinite, flies off to endless possibilities. But she will be back again. She will be back again with to feed her young ones. Until she comes back, the laburnum tree will be lifeless. Till her coming back, the laburnum tree will be silent and still. It is her who makes the tree alive again, and the laburnum subsides to empty. So laburnum again sinks back to emptiness. Till goldfinch bird comes back to the tree will be silent and still. So I think you have understood the poem. Now let's look at some of the questions, and please make a note of these questions. You have to do it in your notebook. So for this we are not going to give you any notes or anything. You have to do on your own work. It's mostly to develop your own writing skill. So if notes are being given to you, then only learning by heart will happen. There won't be any thinking happening. So I would suggest that you read the poem 2-3 times. If any extra help is needed, I can provide you. Yes. So please do that, and please write down the questions in your notebook. I know there are some questions at the back of the textbook, but we are not doing that. We are only giving you questions which other than that, so not from the back of the textbook. So whatever questions we give, you write it down, and whatever questions are being asked from the chapter, you should be able to answer it. So that will only happen if you read the textbook thoroughly, and if you think about the text, think about the passage or poem, whichever you have to study. So let's look at some of the questions, and please write it down in your notebook and do the answers in your notebook. Okay, thank you.